has a power steering reservoir, so it is properly mounted with nuts and bolts to my frame. Then I'm gonna go into my payment arm. What is your payment arm? To move my front tires in the front, so it's properly mounted with nuts and bolts to my steering box, properly mounted with nuts and bolts with the castle nut and quarter pin, the safety pin. This is your quarter pin, this is your castle nut, properly mounted to my payment arm. Drag link. Drag link is always straight with no illegal welds, cracks or bends, and it's properly mounted with the castle nut and quarter pin and my upper 8 arm. And then I have a lower 8 arm on the bottom connected to my tie rod on both sides. Make sure it has a castle nut and quarter pin and both sides are connected to my tie rod. She's gonna ask you this question: what is your tie rod for? My tie rod is to move my 2 tires in the front, so any damage to my tie rod, I need to replace it as soon as possible. You want me to mention my ABS hose and ABS cable? She's gonna be like, no, I don't want to hear it no more. What's the depth on this tire? It's a 4/32. If I'm gonna replace a tire in the front, I'm gonna have to replace it both sides. And if I'm gonna replace a brake drum or a brake shoe, I'm gonna have to replace it on both sides. And then I'm gonna go into my B section. My door hinges properly mounted with nuts and bolts. Make sure my door opens and closes properly. I'm gonna go to my mirror mounts, properly mounted with nuts and bolts, adjusted to my driving. Inside the weather strip, no daylight or water leaks. If it has daylight or water leaks, I need to replace my weather strip. That concludes the weather strip in the doors and the front windshield weather strip. Make sure no daylight or water leaks. If it has daylight or water leaks, I need to replace that weather strip as soon as possible. Inside, I have extinguisher. I have 3 marker triangles. The 3 marker triangles, in case I get stranded, I need to put them in the floor. Then I'm gonna take my inside handles, timing handles secured into the cap, secure that to the outside of the cap. Always clean of grease, because that could be very slippery when I'm climbing my vehicle. My battery box is 1214. That's the voltage on the battery box. Make sure they're properly mounted and good working order. I got my primary tank, secondary tank, and service tank. My tank's always clean with water. If you have water inside, I have to clean them every morning so I can wipe the water out of there. I'm gonna go to my steps, properly mounted to my battery box, properly mounted to my tanks, and good working order. And then my bottom step secured, always clean with no grease or shiny marks. That could cause me a slip down, so it's dangerous. I'm gonna go to the dead fuel cap. Make sure it's not leaking. If it was leaking, I see drips on it. I need to replace that dead cap as soon as possible. Then I'm gonna go over here to my diesel cap. My diesel cap is in good working order. We'll make sure the gasket is not leaking. If it was leaking, I need to replace that cap as soon as possible. Then I'm gonna go to my